So the first thing we can do is go and see the world famous, the big Laxey wheel. The easiest way to get there is actually by bus. Come here to the bus station, go to stand number D behind me and take bus number 3 and take you directly to the attraction. Now, if you're more adventurous and got a little bit more time, go down the promenade, take a bus to a tram station, and from there you can take the tram up to Laxey as well. It's more scenic, and maybe that's what we're going to do when we come back. That being said, the bus comes every 15 minutes and let's hope it's not late. Fingers crossed. So finally on the bus, and I've been told this is going to be a really quick ride. It's roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, it's a small island. It is a small island. I think that you learned something. The name Laxey derives from the Old Norse Laxa, meaning the salmon river. This village is situated in the east coast of the island. In the 19th century, lead and zinc mining began. It became the largest industry in the area, but ended in 1929. The village also has a fishing industry. Laxey is now mainly a residential and tourist area, the most notable attraction being the world-famous Laxey wheel. So the bus will actually drop you off over there, as you can see, and that is the entrance on this way. So it's going to be like a really short walk, hopefully. With that being said, let's get going. It's actually quite a walk, but it's okay. It's nice scenery actually. So I think the wheel should be up there in a few minutes or so. There's also a miniature railway for those of you who want an easy ride. This is the same Great Laxey Mine Railway that served the mine beginning from 1823. It's only £2 round trip or free with your Go Explore card. Not so shabby. The Isle of Man contained a large variety of minerals. Copper ore were mined at the Breda Head as far back as the 13th century. Harold, the King of Man, having granted a charter under which the monks of Firmus Abbey obtained working right for this mine. Although there's no exact date for the start of mining at Laxey. However, by 1783, working were being opened, and by 1833, over 200 men were employed in the mine. With this, various minerals were extracted from the mine. The lead ore was the main component of the working, and the substance regarded as lesser value was simply thrown away. The extraction of minerals continued until 1934. It's really narrow here getting up. The prosperity of the Great Laxey can still be seen by its giant water wheel erected in 1854 at the height of its production. It remained the largest working water wheel in the world. The wheel was named the Lady Isabella after the wife of Sir Charles Hope, who was at the time the Lieutenant Governor of the Isle of Man. The water power wheel was used for the mine because the island did not have a supply of coal for the steam power pump. Most of the wheel and rod is made of wood. However, key mechanical parts are metal to provide tension and bearing surfaces. During its 70-year working life, the wheel was capable of pumping 1,100 liters of water a minute from a depth of 200 fathoms. The wheel is currently maintained by the Max National Heritage as part of the Great Laxey Wheel and Mine Trail and become the island's most dramatic tourist attraction. If you are lucky, you can watch the mighty wheel turn and climb to the top of a panoramic view across the Glenmore Valley. I really hope you got better luck with weather than me. Underneath the wheel, you can also explore the trail to the mine ruins and learn about the lives of Laxey miners. Laxey was primarily mined for its lead ore. However, in addition, the mine yields zinc, silver, copper, pyrite, and hematite irons in significant quantities. In part payment for their labor, the owner allowed the miners to keep the copper ore which had been extracted. and by the mid-19th century, this was being sold for £23 per ton. A mixture of copper and lead was sold for £7 per ton. Okay, so one of the things look out is you got to watch your head when you're in here, or else you're gonna be walking without a souvenir. Oh, okay. It happened to me too.
I didn't listen.
It's all good. In the March of 1904, a fire broke out. Luckily, this instance claimed no casualties. However, the second instance occurred in December of the same year, resulting in the death of 4 miners. By May 1929, majority of the miners had left for the United States, South Africa, and Australia. Continued flooding in the lower reaches of the mine became persistent, and in 1934, the mine was permanently closed. In Laxey, you'll find the only electric mountain railway in the British Isles. This 8 km long railway has been operating since 1895. The track is built with 3-foot 6-inch gauge and electrified with a 550 volt direct current passing through the overhead wires. So I'm inside an old-fashioned train. You can hear it. We're going to get going. Oh! So the Go car also works here, and we are going out to the Snaefell mountain. It's a little bit noisy, but it's okay. It's part of the experience. The ownership and control of this railway had exchanged hands many times until it was acquired by the government in 1957. The railway operates from March to early November and links Laxey with the summit of Snaefell Mountain at the peak of 2,036 feet above the sea level, taking 30 minutes for a one-way journey. Just arrived. Wow, this is really foggy, and yeah. Snaefell is the highest mountain in the island and also a popular hiking spot. If you are lucky, on a clear day, you may be able to see some or all of the 7 kingdoms: England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, the Isle of Man, and the Kingdom of Heaven and the Sea. But it's not my day today. It's too foggy to see anything. So I'll be hiding inside a cafe here offering hot beverages and refreshment. It's open during the summer months. So we are up in the summit right now. It's really nothing you can see because it's really foggy, so it really depends on your luck. If you need to warm up, which is a bit cold here actually, you can come into this cafe and you can warm up and then basically go out and have a nice walk. There's a lot of time in between the trains, so you can catch the next train down. By the way, so next we're gonna head off to Ramsey, and there's some stuff to do there. I mean, I tell you about it when we get on board, or when we get there. With that being said, let's go.
Yep, no worries, on you go.
For you, take a seat on the right side so you can get the seaside. But either way, it's a really nice, slow 45 minutes ride. Enjoy it. Ramsey is the third largest town on the island and set on the coast with a magnificent backdrop of Northborough Hills. The name of the town derived from the Old Norse meaning Wild Garlic River, and also being a route for Sylvan invasion by Vikings and Scots. Today, it's home to a population of 8,000 residents. So, we have arrived here in Ramsey. As you can see, station's behind me. And next thing we're going to head to is the Grove Museum. It's about 20 minutes walk from the station, and hopefully it's going to appear on my on the online map. The bus station is just a minute away on foot and offers rides to the Grove Museum. The best of all, both the ride and the museum admission is covered under the Go Explorer Pass. Oh yeah! The Grove Museum offers a real insight into the lives of a wealthy family from the Victorian time to the 20th century. The wealthy shipping merchant Duncan Gibb visited the Isle of Man on holiday in 1830s and fell in love with a small secluded cottage for sale on the Adrianus Road on the outskirts of Ramsey. He purchased the property as a summer retreat for his family, along with a governess, 2 maids, and a manservant. Later, it was expanded by adding a second story and building on the 2 rooms at the front with a hallway. Gibbs retired in the 1860s and the family moved here permanently, and the group became a much-loved family home with a thriving farm attached. However, the family wealth dwindled through his 2 unmarried granddaughters who lived here until their death in the 1970s. Soon after, the estate was purchased by the Max National Heritage and turned into a house museum.
Hold that down. I would say it at the time.
The house has been maintained pretty much as it was in its Victorian heyday, complete with family furnishings and possessions. There was no running water until the 1920s, and electricity didn't arrive after the World War II. Portable heaters provide extra heat in the winter months. Stone hot water bottles were used to warm the beds and also carried under the clothing to provide warmth. Sadly, still no Wi-Fi internet even to this day. Now it's very interesting, this house even have a beehive, and it's actually a real beehive, can you believe it? So yeah.
These are the original curtain, the sky curtain.
The drawing room is a typical cluttered Victorian room. The piano in the corner of the room came from the Liverpool house, and all the daughters will have learned how to play. This room was used for parties. The tiger skin rug on the floor reflects the family's connection with India. So this is the master bedroom, and by tradition, each head of the family basically occupied until their passing. It was first occupied by Duncan Gibsons, then it was occupied by the Granny Gibsons, and finally it was occupied by Janet Gibsons until her passing in 1974. The kitchen is located at the back of the house, along with its cast iron range for cooking and hot water. The maid's first job in the morning was to light the fire for hot water for the family to wash. Standing at the side of the range is an earthenware water filter. The final room will have been second bedroom, but now display of Victorian and early century clothing, including a tennis outfit and morning dresses, as well display cabinet with jewelry of the era.